And now, for a moment of clarity.
Like the three of us, who not only cares about yourself and the people you love, but cares about your community, then you are feeling the reverberation of every choice that they are making every day.
It hurts. It hurts a lot of people. It hurts a lot of families. And, you know, I know from some folks in the MAGA land that I've talked to who are now sitting there going, well, I didn't think that it would go here. I didn't think it would be like this. And I was like, I don't know what to tell you, boo. The man told you this is what you want to do. What did you think being a dictator for one day meant?
Well, but say what you said in the break, because at least it was like save it for TV, and we should have. But the fact that people, they didn't think so because there were many people who were hand waving and wagging the finger at us saying, oh, this is just Project 2025 is just a policy paper. Yeah. You all, I mean, Bill Maher tried to wag his finger at Stephanie Ruhle, talking about she's trying to make it seem like that's Trump's policy, and it's not. When in reality, they're doing exactly what they said they weren't going to do. Right. And I don't understand why people would think otherwise. Mm-hmm. If you paid attention at all over the last, let's go back, I don't know, 5 years, 6 years, Donald Trump has always told you what he wants to do. And he tells you because he doesn't think you can stop him. And so it was very important to understand what leveling up Project 2025 was all about. Keep in mind, they backtracked on Project 2025 because they got called out on it. Mm-hmm. If no one had focused on a 900-page policy paper, trust me, right now everybody be going, what Project 20? But you knew, you had it.
Taraji P. Henson tried to save the Republic.
She tried to tell us at the BET Awards, honey.
There you go. And everyone blew it off because they didn't want to believe that a man in the Oval Office would do something like that. But when you don't have any regard for the Oval Office, you don't have any regard for the position of the presidency, when you want to remake it in your own image, this is what you do. And this is how you do it. So, yes, think about what this country looks like with no education, no Department of Education to assist and aid those who are on SNAP programs, who are on special ed programs, who are trying to get their kids from one grade to the next. Think about that.
We're going to have to find some joy, folks. Cowboy Carter, the Eagle, something.
Not everybody going to
We got more of the weekend after this.
If people call in and say, you need to stop this, you need to take a position on this and intervene at this point.
Yeah, it is very effective. In fact, as the Congresswoman can tell you, when calls come into her office, if she averages typically, maybe 15, 20 calls a day, right? We're probably a little bit more than that. But when it's 100, 150, 200, you start to pay attention to what exactly is moving your constituents to act. I think a very important front line, with all due respect to the Congress, are the governors. I think this is where we've already begun to see even Republican governors, red state governors, raise their hand and go, excuse me, you can't do that. And so that's where I think this line is really going to set itself, because that's where people are. Governors know that. They are getting those phone calls too. Westmore here in Maryland, for example, is certainly getting. Glenn Youngkin in Virginia is getting it. Yes, he's probably getting reinforcing messages from his conservative flank, but he's also getting messages from Northern Virginia. All right. And so the reality of it is they have to contextualize all of this, Allie. And at the bottom line, it really goes to the heart of what we're talking about here. The overreach by the executive branch, stripping away the rights of citizens through what they're doing in these relative, agencies and cabinet positions, putting in place people who are deconstructing the administration of our government. To what end? And I think I want to level up a great piece by David French that talks about the unconstitutional constitutional acts, right? In other words, what Donald Trump is doing is remaking the Constitution right in front of us.
Yep. And we need to watch
and
this.
We need to watch that. And that's something that governors, quite honestly, see and feel most quickly because it impacts exactly how they run their states. In addition to the incredible work of USAID, we have come to understand that it's not just USAID. There are other relief services out there. Catholic Charities, for example, a significant player here domestically as well as globally. Catholic Relief Services, right, which is, you know, a companion organization working hand in hand with USAID. National Catholic Reporters already indicating that Catholic Relief Services is laying off staff cuts and programs after this USAID shakeup. The reality of it is, you look at Catholic Relief Services basically receives about half of their $1.5 billion budget from this type of funding.
Exactly.
Talk about the impact across the board for humanitarian services. That soft power, yes, is putting food in place, medicine in place for people, but that also translates, as Simone and Alicia were talking about, in other ways to secure the U.S. presence on the ground locally. Because here's the deal. When we pull out in West Africa and China comes in, when that port goes in, folks, that port's not going away. China now has a beachhead on the Atlantic Ocean opposite the United States.
Exactly.
Catch Michael Steele on The Weekend, Saturdays and Sundays, 8 a.m. to 10 a.m. on MSNBC.